Hello, welcome back once again. And today we are going to hit to the point. We're going through now to the machine learning part. And the first tool we are going to look at is called Pandas. There's Matplotlib, there's scikit-learn. But first, today we are going to start with the Pandas. And as you know what the Pandas is, it helps us in integrating with many other data science and machine learning Python tools, and it helps your data get ready for machine learning. That's what Pandas is used to. And what we are, the area which you are going to focus in this field is especially the most useful function of the pandas. And then there is the panda data types, of which we know that there are two types of data types in panda. There is the series and data frame. And then we are going to see on how to import and export data. And then we are going to see how to describe data and viewing and selecting data and how to manipulate this data. So let's get straight to the point. So this is a fresh site. As I taught you I had shown you in the other previous tutorial. I'm going to the first step is just assume you are opening up a new workbook and you're working afresh. So it was first by you. I hope you remember that. Then let me check you environment here. So we're gonna yep. So but before that, first let me just show you something. Let's say we want to launch our Jupyter notebook from here. It's Jupyter notebook. An error is gonna appear, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let's hit enter. It says that Jupyter is not recognized as an internal, so you have to activate the environment first. That's the first thing you should always consider. And then, so to activate our environment, let's just check which environment we are working on. This command here. Then, yeah, you can see here that three types of environment. There's this one here, then there's the first one and the third one. So let's just choose this. Let's work on this. Okay. So the first step is to activate conda 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 activate. You can just copy this or just type it for in order for you to learn to continue learning and hit enter, right? Yep, you can see here it has changed from base to this one. Let's now launch our Jupyter notebook. Our Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook. I'm expecting a pop-up window. Yeah, it's here now. You can see direct. We're working under this environment here. So the first thing is to create a .pynb file, which is here. It's a file. Let's just name it as pandas. I showed you how to change the name. Pandas. Let's just name it as pandas. That's it now. There you go. So let me show you on how to import data in in this form here. So the first step is to use the import pandas spd command, which is import pandas spd. This is always the first step, and then I'm gonna hit shift and enter to run this. So the next step is to import our data now. So how are we going to import our data? We'll use we use a command known as pd.read underscore csv and then the name of our data. But the first thing, we have to upload our data into a working environment. And to do that, you can see here. Hope you remember this upload, the one I showed you in the last program. So here we go. Yeah, we've just imported our data, and we can rename it as we want here, but can just name it as group.csv or employee employee.csv and hit employee up. Now we have already uploaded our file. So the next thing is to import the data now after uploading. I was just uploading to the working environment. So let's name our data here. Employee is equals to pd dot read csv and then the name of our data. You can the name of our data. Okay, can see here when I hit tab it brings it brings this, so I just hit employee.csv. Let me just hit enter. Yep, there you go. So we want to view the head of our data. Now how are we going to do this? Going to use the head command, employee dot head. Let's say we want to view the first 10 and then hit enter. Yep, we can see here we have our data. There's the employee number, annual salary, gender, age, experience, and training. So with our data here, let's see how we can come up with some basic plots for data. So the first thing, to come up with any plots, let's say a bar graph, we have to use the matplotlib library. So let me just import the matplotlib library. Plot matplotlib plot spt. Shift enter. Then after importing this, let's see on how we can, we want to construct a bar graph for gender, that's male and female. So the first thing we have to do is to employee dot the name of our body, the name of the variable, which is gender. Dot gender, then dot value underscore counts, then then dot plot here, which will be the kind we're plotting is the bar graph. Bar graph. So let me just hit enter, shift enter. You can see since we've just plotted a bar graph. That's this one is female and this one is the female and male. So another thing before I forget, how to deactivate your working environment, we just use this conda deactivate. And then our last thing is to look on how we can export this data. So we use this command to export our data. Employee to then CSV, then the name of our data. Can say exported employee, employee butterfly.csv. Then yep, that's it. Oh, and also supposed to be CSV. And then another thing, we have to keep our index is false. Otherwise, it's gonna export until the index, an index starts from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. It always starts from 0. That's what you have to know. So this false. So let me just search for our data. So I've already exported the data. Let's go back to our working environment. You can see here, we have already exported our data, which is here successful. That's it. I'm going to see you in the next lecture where I'm going to talk more about the pandas. Thank you so much.